What the hell am I doing here on a Friday? What's going on, everyone? And welcome to a very, very rare Friday night Smackdown review stream here on the channel. I am never up here on Friday nights, but as you guys know, I let you guys know at the beginning of the week, this week was going to be different. Instead of the Winged Eagle podcast tomorrow, I was going to come up here with 3 separate live streams instead. On Monday night, actually 4 on Monday night and on Wednesday night after Winter is Coming, after tonight on SmackDown, and after Sunday night, or after Sunday, after the pay-per-view on Sunday, NXT War Games will be up here on YouTube as well. So a lot of streams this week in place of just one stream on Saturday because I have got some plans, and I've got some plans tonight as well. So we're going to keep this one relatively short. SmackDown, I think, was a really good show. I cannot say enough good things about Roman Reigns and the whole situation there, and I think Kevin Owens is the absolute perfect opponent for him right now, based on who Roman is, and Kevin Owens' fearless nature and things like that. There is just nobody better for Roman to run down right now than Owens, because he is credible as hell, and I think this is going to be a fun little program here heading into TLC, and everything surrounding these guys and Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and his family was terrific. Not everything else was. The other great part of the show tonight was, I think WWE really saved the Patterson tribute, like the good tribute for tonight, doing something very, very nice for him on Wednesday, of course, on NXT, but tonight they really saved it up and did the whole deal. 10-bell salute, lots of tributes throughout the show, splattered around, even a tribute match and things like that. So that was all beautiful. But for the most part, it was mostly about laying the groundwork for TLC, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Patterson, and that was really it. There was only a couple other things here and there that were okay on the show, but for the most part, it was just, to me, so-so. But please let me know your letter grades, A, B, C, or D, 1 through 10. How would you grade the show tonight? You guys are going to have to help me, too, as we go through some of the results. I think there's 1 or 2 finishes that I did not catch. I know who won, but I didn't see exactly what happened and how they went down. So might need a little help with that later on. After we run through the SmackDown results, we're going to predict War Games for Sunday night. Now, I've got 5 matches listed as all I have, which is good. That's the perfect number for an NXT show. And I've pretty much didn't take too long to decide who's going to win these matches. Sometimes I struggle, but for the most part, I feel kind of confident. And we'll see. We'll do that at the very end. And then I'm out of here for 2 more days until you see me on Sunday night. Hope you guys are having a good night. No idea what kind of an audience we're going to have in here for a Friday night so far. There is not many people here, but Spaz is here, and that's what matters. Thanks for the $10, dude. And thanks for being here. Happy Friday and happy weekend to you. War Games Preview running live as we speak with the great Jake DeMarco. When you're done with Greg, when you're done with me, come on by or catch the replay. Also, Jake got married, so hit him. A countdown ended with some love. Oh, man. Well, congratulations to him, or condolences, whichever way you want to look at it. That's awesome. And good luck tonight, man. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello in here, and good luck with your stream. Go check out Spaz and shoot him a subscription over there. Yeah, I kind of thought, Steven, I'm with you on that. What's going on with Jey Uso right now and the way Roman is treating him. When all of this started, I remember kind of having a little prediction in my head that this would eventually phase out. Roman would treat Jey like shit at first, but in the end, the family would come together. I thought that's what they were going to do, but Roman tonight just continues to treat his cousin like an absolute piece of garbage, and that's what makes Roman such a beautiful and glorious and magnificent asshole. I am in love with the level of asshole that this guy is. He is an asshole. He really is. And I think that's why Roman Reigns is just so fabulous, and he is literally the best thing going in WWE right now. Very, very good stuff. So we'll touch on all of that. We'll talk about Owens and Roman Reigns coming up at TLC. I don't think anybody in the world is expecting Roman, to drop the belt here. But, maybe you could do an interesting scenario where it happens and then Roman Reigns wins it back. I was looking at the calendar. Christmas Day, 3 weeks from tonight, is a Friday. And every time wrestling or Monday night is falling on Christmas Day, they always tape a stupid show. Remember a couple years ago where they did it live and they made everybody work and it pissed us off? And the reason that pissed us off is because the shows are throwaway shows. They're just bullshit. They're food fights. The wrestler, it's Santa winning the 24/7 title. It's so dumb. It's so overly Christmas themed. Somebody's got to be a Christmas tree or something. Nothing of any importance ever happens. It's always just like an entertaining wrestling show, which bothered us because I'm like, why are you going to bring these people, tear them away from their families to do a stupid show like this live when you can just tape this bullshit? So now that we've got a Friday night on the calendar for Christmas Day, WWE should actually tape a show. Don't do it live, tape it ahead of time, but book a couple of really good matches, maybe do a title change or two. Now, that's going to really be hard to promote that hard if it's coming just days after TLC, because TLC is the 20th. But shit, I mean, I don't want to see Roman lose the title until WrestleMania, so don't freak out what I'm about to say here. But, Jey Uso helped Roman beat Drew McIntyre. What if Drew McIntyre, he's got a match at TLC himself? What if he shows up in the Roman and Kevin Owens match, cost Roman Reigns just like Roman's family cost him? Roman loses the title to Kevin Owens in a bullshit way with help from Drew McIntyre, who claymores Roman's head off. Roman gets pissed, demands a rematch, and they kind of do like a Tuesday in Texas type of thing where, whoever the fuck's in charge just says, okay, in light of how the title change went down, we're going to book a rematch this coming Friday, Christmas night. Kevin Owens defending the Universal title against Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns puts him down. 2 hands on the chest, just put him down flat on the mat, clean, in 4.5 minutes. It would be a big title change. It would put another, all but brief, but another title win or title run in Kevin Owens' column. And I don't know, it might be something fun to do to promote a really big Christmas Day show. Now, I don't think any of that is going to happen. I don't really think any of that is logical. But, back in the day, like 70s and 80s, Christmas night was home to some of the best wrestling cards ever. There used to be a time when Christmas night wrestling was a big deal and might be a nice throwback or something. Instead of just doing the stupid holiday-themed bullshit that we're going to see, Otis is going to be dressed as Santa. He's going to come out there with a fucking fisting a turkey or something. That's going to happen. And it's just going to be dumb, cheesy, corny, and fucking stupid. So I think they could have more fun with it if they wanted to and really do something crazy. Have a world title change or some shit on SmackDown. Just a thought. But all that was kind of running through my mind tonight as we were watching the show. Spaz chiming in with 10 more. Appreciate it, brother. Who do you think NXT tackles the 2 cruiserweight champions issue? We see people traveling, Dunn, Pac, Imperium, the Grizzled Vets. Not like Devlin is unavailable for him. The Drug Lord will rock. I'm not paying attention to NXT. What's going on with the 2 cruiserweight champions? I'm not even aware of this. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I only caught a couple of clips of NXT this week. I was not that interested in it because it was the War Games Go Home, and I didn't think anything that nuts would happen. I saw that the EO and Ripley were added. I saw the Leon Ruff match and a couple of other things, and the Patterson Tribute. But other than that, I'm not quite sure what that's about. I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask. But thanks, man. Barry, what's up, dude? Appreciate the $2. What do you think of Sting's AEW theme song? Oh, my God. This is going to tie into what I'm going to talk about later with Big E. I don't listen. I was sitting right here in this chair when Big E was making his way to the ring tonight. Didn't even notice he had some new theme song. So when Sting came out, I didn't even hear it. I didn't even really, it didn't register what it sounded like. People are, I think, saying good things. I saw that his first AEW t-shirt is like completely sold out of Pro Wrestling Tees, or the highest seller, one or the other. He's done fantastic merchandise-wise since in his 48 hours in the company. But from what I saw, like on social media and on Twitter the night of, people said the theme song was good. It's just my wrestling mind is just so numb now. I don't pay attention. Like I don't even notice if somebody gets theme songs because I just tune it all out. It's I miss Jim Johnson. I think that's the biggest problem. So yeah, not sorry about Spaz and Barry's super chat questions there. I can't answer either one of them because I'm stupid. Yeah, really cool to see Blake and Murphy. I had no idea who they were. At first, I thought it was Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch coming out with Baron Corbin, and then they made mention that it was Blake. You know, and they're Blake and Murphy in NXT. I forgot about Blake. I didn't even know where the hell he was or what happened to him. So it's kind of cool to see him being brought back and a little continuity there. You know, with Corbin bringing him in to battle Murphy, who used to be his former tag team partner. I thought that was pretty cool. So it was Blake and Cutler, I think it was. Out there backing up Corbin, and that whole situation was weird because last week Corbin was playing the role of the babyface, and he still kind of was based on what happened to him last week. So we'll get into all that as well. Oh shit! Thank you, Spaz. Yeah, I'm stupid. I remember now. Thank you, dude. Thanks for the $5 again. Way back, Devlin was the cruiserweight champion before COVID. That's right. I forgot. Completely forgot about that. They had to crown an interim champ. Now he's back. Yeah. I totally forgot that he was champ. I totally forgot he was champ, but that's right. They did have to strip him, and then Escobar, was it a tournament that Escobar won? Or did they just hold it up? I forgot. But yeah, well, obviously, you know, that's a natural match you're going to have to do now. Devlin and Escobar. I don't want to see the dual thing. I don't want to see like, oh, both guys are going to defend the title. Like that was every single time they've attempted that with any title across any time period in history. It's been shit. So let's hope they don't do that, and let's just do a good one-on-one for the title. I'm down. Am I on your stream right now? Or is this a simul stream, Spaz? That's scary. So scary. Anyway, let's run through these SmackDown results because, like I said, I cannot stay up here forever tonight. I got to get out of here and get some stuff done. But you'll see me again Sunday night after War Games, and a card that a lot of people are saying is underwhelming. I don't think it's that bad. I think it has potential. So we'll talk about that here at the end. SmackDown opened up tonight. 10-bell salute for Pat Patterson, just like they did on NXT. Everybody was out there. It just made me take a deep breath seeing Briscoe there with Vince. And Slaughter was on stage too. I'd say Briscoe and Slaughter are two of the most tightest with Patterson in terms of, you know, the old timers sticking together. And of course, Briscoe had that run with Patterson as the Stooges, which was just hilarious television about 20 years ago. And they did great in those roles. So they finally did the Big Ten belt to Pat. A lot of the talent. I mean, Pat was kind of with them in and out all the way up until the end. I mean, he's been in and out for 30 years, but you know, he was still a presence around to where most of the current talent knows who he is and has met him and has interacted with him and stuff. So his death is literally one that went through the whole company. It's not like it's an old timer that used to be around and hasn't been on TV or been in a backstage environment in 25 years where 90% of the talent never met him. You know, everybody knew Pat. Pat touched everybody. Pat influenced everybody. And he was a big reason of, you know, why WWE even survived. Even like when you think back to like the mid 90s when, and again, Pat was in and out. But like those dark years, there were a lot of dark moments, you know, in like 94, 5, and then 6 too, when WCW started coming, even in early 97, where WWE was about as on the ropes as they have ever been with WCW. Imagine how much worse it would have been had they not had somebody there like Pat Patterson laying out Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels matches. Because I think the only thing that was really keeping WWE in the hunt and in the game was that the wrestlers they had there that were good were wrestling hard and having great matches. And, you know, he had just amazing psychology. And that's that type of tutelage you didn't really find in WCW. You know, it didn't have that same mentality, that team atmosphere and stuff. And Pat was a big reason of keeping, you know, probably a lot of the egos in check too. You know, how many matches he helped put together and helped lay out and stuff. So, you know, he was a vital, extremely vital. You know, I think they said tonight something about like him really laying the groundwork for what the WWE became, and that's extremely true. You know, Pat is way more influential than you know, I think that even he gets credit for, and he gets credit for a lot. So 10-bell salute there. We wouldn't be done with Pat. They would do more. We open up the actual show with an in-ring interview with Roman Reigns and Kayla Braxton. So Roman comes out there. They do a rundown of what's been going on with him and Jey Uso, and most recently Kevin Owens last week. The Kevin Owens beatdown of Jey Uso, calling out Roman into the camera, sitting at the head of the announce table. That was just remarkable stuff, and that got me really excited. Again, I've been saying this a lot ever since Roman came back. I know he's not dropping that belt until WrestleMania, but I'm still finding myself equally as intrigued by his matches on pay-per-view, even though I know 100% he's going to win. You know, because Kevin Owens is a great opponent. He's so fearless. He's so good. He's a great babyface. He's a great heel. And he is somebody that is not going to back down to this mob boss persona of Roman Reigns. And I really think he's the perfect guy to face him right now, because Roman's first feud upon returning was with his own damn cousin, who was, just a few months ago, only a tag team wrestler. So as good as Jey turned out to be and how much he impressed us, is he really a credible single star at this point? No. Owens is. And this is going to be a big, good, quality, credible opponent for Roman Reigns to put down on his path to WrestleMania. So I'm looking forward to the match. I think it's going to be good. And I kind of hope they stretch it out a little bit more. I don't think my Christmas Day idea is really going to pan out, but you could do a rematch at the Royal Rumble. Who knows? We'll see. That's going to be fun stuff. So Kayla, I even think they show a video package going through some of that stuff as well. Kayla asks Roman if he's manipulating Jey, and he's saying, do I look like somebody who would manipulate anybody? I'm protecting my family. This is what I do. His tone and his soft-spoken tone, the way he's really, you know, speaking like he is the head of the family, this mob boss, godfather type mentality, I think is working wonders for him. He is so good. I had caught a clip like last night or something of just a random promo that he cut. I think it was on a Raw or Smackdown. I don't know what the fuck it was. But it was like from 2 years ago. And just to see that Roman, it's not even the same guy. You know, he's got this big shit-eating grin on his face. He's laughing. He's smiling. He's having a good old time in the ring. I cannot believe that these two guys are the same person. That's a credit to Roman for really being able to do a 180 here and change his, you know, at least his personality on the mic and stuff completely the opposite of what it was before. And not too many guys can pull that off. So I think all that's great. Kevin Owens, of course, you knew. I was just waiting. I'm like, where's the music? You know, finally Kevin Owens comes out. He gets in Roman's face a little bit, winds up, you know, kind of challenging to a fight and challenging him to a TLC match at the pay-per-view. And Roman says he's a gentleman, not a savage, and there's a lady in the ring, and that's kind of like Roman's way of getting out of the fight, so he doesn't have to fight right there. And I didn't hear, I might not have been paying attention, I didn't hear any confirmation on the TLC match. We know it's going to be confirmed. I don't know if they bothered to mention it here or not tonight, or if that's going to be next week, but clearly it's going to be Roman Owens TLC match for the title. It's just a matter of when they officially make that. And they might have done it tonight. I might just be dumb. So all of that was good. Good opening segment there. Very entertaining segment. I don't think it went too long. There was a lot of different different facets of it because, you know, you got Roman giving Jey Uso so much shit, treating him like crap. Jey Uso, the whole time, the camera was kind of like fixated on Jey's facial expression during the whole thing. He looked like a little kid who got scolded in Walmart. You know, he's just kind of sitting there like, you know, looking up. You know, he's just like scared to even look up. He's scared to fucking move. So that tells an amazing story right there of Roman Reigns' influence and all of that. So Roman is obsessed with being the head of the family, the tribal chief, and the head of the table. I said tonight, I don't give a shit where I sit at a dinner table. Put me in the back. Don't put me at the head of the table. I'm probably going to be high, and I don't want everybody staring at me. As a matter of fact, I'd rather eat in my room. How about that? So I don't know why sitting at the head of the table is so important to Roman. To me, that's fucking stupid, but it doesn't matter. Roman's doing great work anyway, and I am loving every single solitary second of it. Here's a match I need help on. Natalya and Bayley. One-on-one. You got Bianca Belair on commentary. I decided to go fart around. And next thing you know, Natty is tapping out Bayley. Did Bianca get involved? I have a hard time believing that Natalya scored that victory over Bayley clean. If she did, I'm going to become a monk. I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to make of that. That's fucking absurd. So what I'm thinking is Bianca caused a distraction on Bayley, and that led to the sharpshooter and the tap out. Help me out with what went down with Natalya and Bayley. But again, that's just a way to further the angle in the program with Bayley and Bianca. I don't want to see Bayley lose to anybody, at least clean, until Bianca beats her. So I'm kind of hoping that Natty had some help there. Up next was when we had the really beautiful Patterson Tribute. Very similar. I don't think it was the same one we saw on Wednesday, but close. Set to the My Way song or whatever it is. Pat loved to sing that in karaoke. Pat loved to sing everything in karaoke. And really cool tribute there. Lots of just pictures that are just like, wow, you know, some of these pictures of just seeing him back in the day and all the different things he did. That one in particular that I love with him and Andre and Afa. It might have been somebody else too, maybe Backlund or something, you know, but just kind of showing, you know, how far his career spanned and how long, especially he's been in WWE and by Vince McMahon's side. And of course, he won the Intercontinental title, the first Intercontinental champion back in 1979. In the tournament, it was funny because when they were done with the tribute, they came back to the ring and there's going to be a 6-man Pat Patterson tribute match, and all 6 competitors are former Intercontinental champions. And they had the original, the first ever Intercontinental title there, sitting there at ringside, which is awesome to see again. But in part of me, in my heart of hearts, I was kind of hoping that they would come clean about the Rio de Janeiro tournament and shit, just for tongue-in-cheek purposes. I know kayfabe and everything, but you know, everything we see on the network now and all that stuff, I think it would have been funny if they wouldn't have just come out and say, oh, by the way, that tournament never happened, but if they joked about it. Like, as Michael Cole mentioned, you know, he was the first ever champion, won at a tournament in Rio de Janeiro. And then if Corey Graves would have just been like, yeah, I looked that up once and couldn't find it. Like, just some sort of small little comment like that for a fan like me, I would have appreciated. And I don't think it would have harmed kayfabe at all. But it was nice to see that title back there. The IC title. I was 2 years old when Pat Patterson was crowned Intercontinental champion. Little shit mic work. Pooping his Pampers. That was me. But really, really heartfelt tribute, beautiful tribute to Pat, WWE. I always knew, too, when Pat passed away, that they would really, really tribute him well because he's super important. He really is. After that, we got the tribute match. Like I said, it's a six-man tag. All former Intercontinental champions, 3 on each side. We got Rey Mysterio, Big E, and Daniel Bryan on the babyface side. We've got Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Sami Zayn on the heel side. I think it's cool that, Sammy from Montreal is the Intercontinental champion. Somebody from Pat's neighborhood was the Intercontinental champion at the time of his death. Is kind of cool. And Pat, I think, really liked all these guys, especially Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn. I know he's had some interaction with those guys before, and they respect the shit out of Pat. In the end, it was actually a pretty good six-man match. I didn't even mind it. And like I said, I completely Big E came out there to new music. Again, I don't really know who Wale is. I know he's been on Raw before or something. I just don't listen to that stuff. So I had no idea he even had new music. Like I said, I was sitting right here, I'd say 36 inches away from a speaker bar with the shit blaring in my right ear, and I don't notice it. I had no fucking clue that he came out there to a new theme song. So you guys let me know what you thought of that. Is it good? Is it bad? How does it measure up? Either way, I think it's good for Big E. I've wanted not only Big E, but the entire New Day to get some spiced up music for a long time. So Big E now being in a singles push, I think new music is logical, and that makes a lot of sense. I hope it's good. I hope Big E likes it, and that's all that matters to me. So I'm sure once I start listening to it and getting used to it, it'll grow on me as well. I just laugh that shit just goes in one ear out the other with me. Cracks me up. In the end, the babyfaces won. Again, this is the other match that I need help with. Sammy got pinned. I think it was by Daniel Bryan, but I didn't catch it. And I think it was a Pat move or something, but I was all the way in the other room, missed it. Just know that the babyfaces won. After the match, they run back in to confront the heels. 2 of them bail out. Shinsuke and Sammy bail out, leaving Dolph in there all by himself. And he just does a hilarious job of doing a really fun, loving, lighthearted oversell job on all 3 of the guys, kicking the shit out of him and him eating a 619 at the end. He even does something where he falls. He's like, oh, and he hits the ropes, and then Ray nails him with a 619. So Dolph's great. Gotta love Dolph. He did a great job in that thing. So that was a fun, loving tribute to him, and I thought the match was good. Owens was backstage again, I think, after this, where he calls Roman an arrogant jackass and says he used to look up to him, but he's, turned into a piece of shit now. Otis shows up and does all this stuff, and they're ready for their tag. That's the main event, by the way. Otis and Owens, Jey and Roman is your match set for the main event. Worst part of the show for me, easily, and I knew it would be. From the minute they announced it, I was like, this is going to be the cringiest shit ever done. Carmella and Sasha Banks face-to-face sit-down interview. They're at separate locations, though. It's kind of a via satellite deal, or same building, but different locations. And I knew it was just going to be them doing all this shit with their hair and talking, oh, you want to get real personal, blah, 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 and just, I just knew it was exactly what I thought it would be. The minute they started to open up their mouths, I'm like, kill me. Fucking kill me. It's so bad. Carmella, I don't even dislike. Sasha, I think, is a star, and she's awesome. But these promos suck. CM Punk is right. Pat McAfee's the best promo in the company. Sorry, wrestlers. It's true. This was so awful. So I was looking at it like this. I couldn't even watch it. I was like, this fucking sucks, man. So just get to the match. Have Sasha beat her, just like Roman, just like Drew. Sasha's not dropping that belt right now. Carmella is put in front of Sasha for Sasha to beat. So don't expose them for being worse actors than we already know they are. And just do the goddamn match. Have Sasha Banks lock her in the bank statement and call it a day. Because I cannot stand listening to those two cut promos on each other. I wanted to barf. After that, we had Baron Corbin taking on Buddy Murphy. Now, last week, Murphy comes out there with the entire Mysterio family, and they all stick their nose in the match. Even Aaliyah gets involved. Little Aaliyah, 19 years old, fucking with Baron Corbin. So the entire Mysterio family, I thought, had turned heel, and it took 4 of them to beat Baron Corbin. And Corbin's right. He has every right to be pissed. So this week, they're doing a rematch again, Corbin and Murphy. This time, Corbin brings some help in the form of Cutler and Blake. And, of course, Blake was Murphy's former tag team partner back in NXT. They're out there in, black hoods, the whole deal. Murphy's got the whole Mysterio clan with him as well. But now Corbin has got some backup. In the end, they were basically just biding their time, and they jumped and attacked the Mysterio family. That drew Murphy out of the ring to go try to help out. When Murphy gets back in the ring during all the confusion, he runs right into an End of Days and gets beat, and Corbin gets his revenge. And Corbin kind of deserved to get revenge because the Mysterios did him wrong last week. So who would have ever thought that Corbin would be right in doing what it took to get some revenge and a victory? So Corbin wins there. Don't know, this just seems like it's a TV deal. This better not lead to some TLC match. If it does, please put this shit on the kickoff. But I think maybe it could be a tables match or something at the pay-per-view. They're going to do something like that. But we'll see. And now that Blake is back in the mix, that should be fun too, to see the interaction going forward here with Murphy. So I did like the fact that Blake was one of the guys that Corbin chose as his backup. That was good. But the lines are a little bit blurred here on who exactly is the heels and who's the baby faces. But whatever. I don't think no matter what Corbin could feed the homeless every single day of his life and the fucker would be a heel. I think he is just universally hated by everyone. And I don't really think he's much of a picnic either. That leaves us with the main event. Boy, it's easy to review a SmackDown. I like this. I should start not doing Raw reviews and just do SmackDown reviews instead. Just move my Monday shit to Fridays. This is much easier. We're in the main event already here. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso taking on Kevin Owens and Otis in a tag team match. Roman, throughout the night, like I said, giving shit to his cousin Jey Uso, even earlier on backstage, let Jey Uso know that all actions have consequences. And, Jey is just sitting there like just sulking, like just being ridiculed by this guy. And I guess part of Roman's punishment for Jey is that Roman just ain't going to show up to the tag match. Nope, you're on your own, Jey. So Jey's in the ring. It's basically 2-on-1 handicap with Otis and Owens taking on him. Roman finally shows up after Jey's getting worked over a little bit, gets on the apron, finally gets in the ring a little bit, finds himself on the outside of the ring, and just hammers poor Otis with the steps, which I thought was funny. I think I'm always going to love Otis, but I'm totally over him. I don't even like his music. I don't like he just seems, when you hear something like Vince likes him, you're like, oh fuck, this is going to turn into a Vince project, and they're going to turn Otis into a joke, and he's going to rub his belly and ooh yeah and all that. I feel like, yeah, he's going to be on TV and, getting a little bit well known, but he's never going to be a serious contender for anything at all with what Vince, I think, has planned for him. So Otis gets murdered with the steps. Finally, Owens gets his hands on Roman Reigns, starts attacking him. They go to commercial. They come back. Roman's back on the apron. Jey is in the ring. And the entire time, Roman has just got this look of disdain on his face. You don't really know who he's looking at. He's looking in the ring. He thinks somebody hates everybody. He sees Owens and Jey Uso, and they're both on his shit list right now. So he's got this just like look of, I fucking hate you guys on his face. Finally, he gets in the ring again. He blasts Kevin Owens, I think, with a punch or something, and he turns around and eats a super kick from Jey Uso. Owens is down in the middle of the ring, so Jey Uso goes up to give the big splash from the top, and that's when Roman Reigns demands to be tagged in, and he wants to put him away. So Uso finally agrees, tags him in. Owens fights back, Stone Cold Stunner to Jey Uso. Roman Reigns breaks up the 3 count, locks in the guillotine, forcing the referee to call for the bell and get a DQ victory here for the babyfaces. So Otis and Owens, I believe, defeated Roman and Jey Uso via disqualification here, with Roman saving his cousin, locking everything in on Kevin Owens. And then after that, they have, this was great. So they've got Owens down. Roman's put him down with the guillotine. Jey Uso goes out to the outside of the ring and gets a chair. Yeah, I think he gets one for Roman too. They both got chairs, and they just take turns whacking and hammering poor Kevin Owens in the mat. And the whole time you hear, I thought it was Owens at first, but I think it was Heyman. You hear somebody going like, oh my God, oh my God. I thought Owens was saying, oh my God, when he was being smacked, but I think it was Heyman on the outside of the ring. I just got a kick out of that. Oh my God, it's fucking hurt. Stop. That was pretty fucking funny. After the match, or after they're both beating down Owens, Roman then takes the chair, nails Jey. Jey goes down. So now you got Jey laying next to Owens, and Roman kind of gets on his knees and just quietly, just like the godfather that he is, talks shit to both guys, slowly, methodically, and quietly over their ears. And he's got his own fucking cousin there laying next to his TLC opponent. He hates them both, and he basically lets him know, who the man is and all that tribal chief nonsense, and that was it. And the show goes off the air. So it started with Roman, it ended with Roman, and right now, in terms of what's going on SmackDown, that's the right call. Everything should start and end with Roman, if you ask me. So that's your SmackDown in a nutshell. You guys can tell me what you think about it. Yeah, thank you for that. I knew Bayley tapped out. I just didn't see how it happened. That's all. Yeah, Ronnie, I'm with you. Biggie did get new music, but I didn't hear any of it, much less. And so I just tuned it out for some reason. Stephen Harris, I think what's going to wind up happening with the Jey stuff is that now that Roman is consistently and constantly just berating him and stuff, I think it's going to wind up leading to him going back to Jimmy. I still think it would be fun for them all to come together, but Roman can only treat these guys like shit for so long before it's going to stop making sense. You know, like I understand they want Roman's approval and all that stuff, but you're not going to be a slave to him either. You know, there's only so much a man can take. So I think that just can't happen. You know, Roman cannot be doing the same stuff to Jey Uso 6 months from now. You know, Jey Uso's got to either snap and say, fuck you, Roman, I'm out of here, or Roman's got to be a little bit more accepting of his family. One of those two things is going to happen. Otherwise, Jey is going to look like a punk. And Jey, based on his performance so far in singles, has been anything but. You know, he's been fantastic. So I don't want to see Jey look like a punk. He's too good. So we'll see. Maybe they'll get that final approval, you know, maybe at TLC. You know, it's TLC, no disqualification. Anybody their mother can run out there. So you get both Usos involved, because I swear Jimmy has got to be this close. I think they're holding off Jimmy to where he can actually return and probably help Roman win a match. And then you got all three of them in the ring. Jimmy's back. Usos then immediately send them right on course to the tag team titles. And then you got gold across that whole family. And maybe that's what it's going to take to get Roman's approval of his cousins. And I think if they win gold, then maybe he'll back off of them a little bit. You know, he can still be that stern Roman, but I don't think he can treat them as big of a piece of shit as he's currently doing now. He's going to have to pump the brakes on that just a touch. Or, like I said, it just ain't going to make sense. But we'll see. Roman is wonderful. Roman 2024. He's the best. Is Carmella much better than Lana? She's better. In the ring, anyway. But in terms of who I'd rather see, I have no preference at all. Damn, Big J, 2 out of 10, huh? I don't think I'm going 2 out of 10. Roman alone is 5 points. So Roman's 5 points. Patterson's, the tribute there is going to be 1.5 points. I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10. The rest of it wasn't that good. Yeah, nothing. I didn't care about the Natty and Bayley match. The 6-man tag was good, but that's all lumped into the Pat Patterson stuff. The face-to-face with Sasha and Carmella gave me diarrhea. The Corbin and Murphy stuff is whack. So yeah, I'll go 6.5 out of 10. This will be my grade. Do I think Ronda Rousey might come back and win the Rumble? I'm thinking Rousey is done, but you never know. She signed a multi-year deal, only wrestled a year, but I also think she probably has the say-so to say, I don't want to do this anymore. And they'll let her go if they want to, or if she wants them to. But a lot of people, somebody said too, I can't remember what it was or who it was. It was on Twitter a couple weeks ago. I was at the show, Survivor Series 2018, Charlotte and Ronda. And it was when Charlotte was just wearing her out with the kendo stick. And I remember this looking around the Staples Center. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? This fucking crowd, these fucking fickle-ass wrestling fans that don't know which way is up, who just boo and shit on Charlotte on a constant basis. All of a sudden, she starts whacking Ronda Rousey and they're cheering. What the hell? Do they even know what they're doing? And somebody said, they're like, I think that was the night that made Ronda hate wrestling. And said, I'm done. You know, after that, she kind of went heel. You could feel a lot of truth in her words. You could feel that she meant it. A lot of things she was saying as a heel about wrestling and talking about how, you know, these ungrateful fans, how they're just such fucking assholes. And honestly, she's 1 bajillion% right. She's not wrong at all in that. So I think a lot of people were like, you know, she dipped her toes in the wrestling water, said, nope, these fans are whack. Goodbye. And I think maybe there's a chance, had the fans not acted the way they did that night in LA, she might already be back. It's a very big possibility. So I don't know. Any sort of Ronda return in my mind is going to have to just come from her. If she wants to come back, WWE will have her on TV tomorrow. But it's probably balls in her court type of thing. I don't think WWE can force her to work. But at the same time, there's a lingering contract still there with her, at least I think. So seeing her back also, there's a certain amount of inevitability to it that it feels like you got to see her back. But, you know, she was smashed over, man, champion for a year. So how can she just disappear now? You know what I mean? I hope we see her back. Happy birthday tomorrow, Isaiah Williams. Depending on where you live, might already be tomorrow. Hey, thank you for that, Paulo. Glad you're this is your first time tuning in. Holy shit, stick around, man. We're here all the time, reviewing everything. Glad to have you on board. All right, let's get into War Games predictions, and then I'm going to mosey my ass up out of here. Like I said, we got 5 matches predicted for Sunday, NXT War Games, men's and women's War Games matches, and 3 singles matches, or I'm sorry, 3 separate matches, one of them being a title match. So we'll start at the bottom here. What I've got, Dexter Lumis taking on Cameron Grimes, strap match. I've actually enjoyed the feud to an extent because of the ridiculous difference in their personalities. Cameron Grimes he's like the McRib. I'm ashamed to admit that I like it. I really am. I like Cameron Grimes. I don't know why, but he cracks me up sometimes. And I think the way he runs away from Dexter Lumis and stuff is pretty fun. I think they really dropped the ball in the blindfold match. That sucked. I thought they could have done a lot better with that and gotten a lot more creative than they did. And as a matter of fact, I don't even think that match saw a definitive finish at all. So this time it's going to have to. Strap matches can be fun. I like the old school mentality of these strap matches are super old school, and I like stuff like that. But in the end, how is Dexter Lumis not going to win this thing? But then again, maybe they'll do Grimes, but I'm picking Dexter Lumis. Dexter's my guy. I like him a lot. So I'm going to go with Dexter Lumis over Cameron Grimes in the strap match. We have Tommaso Ciampa taking on Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher, I love. He is one of my favorite guys in NXT. Reminds me a lot of Chris Benoit. I like his just tough mentality. Dude got his nose all busted up last week, and he's back on TV this week like nothing happened. Dude's missing teeth. He's mangled, but he's tough and strong, and could probably stretch anybody into a pretzel. But last week we saw him put down Tommaso Ciampa pretty hard. I believe he left on NXT this week. He left Ciampa face down on the mat, right? So Ciampa's Ciampa. Is he just going to go out and get punked out again by Timothy Thatcher? I think Ciampa has a chance to win the match against Thatcher, and they probably do a rematch where Thatcher eventually kind of wins the program. So I'm picking Tommaso Ciampa to beat Timothy Thatcher. Had they not done the angle last week, I think I would have picked Thatcher just because I like him a lot. But I think Ciampa is going to beat him. That brings us now to the North American Triple Threat match. Talked a lot about this in the last couple of weeks. Champion Leon Ruff defending against Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano. I've enjoyed Leon Ruff's win. As a matter of fact, I've enjoyed his run as champion so much. I'd be perfectly fine with them stretching it just a hair further and having him retain here. No problem. But I think there's a bigger story with my idea. And I talked about this last week. I think that they should have Gargano win the title here. Because, Priest, they probably don't want to be beating him clean anyway right now. I think he had a really short run with the title anyway, and I think Priest will get it back. But I think it will be cool to put it back on Gargano first, now making him a 3-time North American champion, and that will tie into the Johnny Takeover stuff. Because if he wins the title here on Sunday, how many championships has he now won at Takeover? Tag, North American, and World? 3 or 4 championships he's won at takeovers before. You guys probably know better than me, but I think that would be about the numbers. So that would tie into him being Mr. Takeover, winning yet another title. But when he does win the title, you do an immediate rematch, either on the following NXT or the week after that, where his first title defense comes against Damian Priest, and Priest beats him, which means, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, that Johnny Gargano lost all 3 of his North American titles in his first title defense. He can put together like a Sasha Banks-like type of streak going here. That could be fun. So I know it's hot potatoing a lot, but I think the end result will put the title back where it needs to be, and that's on Damian Priest, a guy that they put over just a couple of months ago that did not run with the belt long. Finally, having that belt land back on him is where I think the end result would be. But instead of having him just win on Sunday, do the deal with Johnny where he can win and then drop it again. I think that would be so much more fun. So I'm predicting Johnny Wrestling to win the Triple Threat and win the North American title for the 3rd time. And again, how many total titles has Johnny held in the company? He's got to be like the most decorated guy if he wins here on Sunday. He's had at least 1 tag title, right? With DIY, maybe 2. I don't know. 3 North Americans and an NXT title. Unless I'm missing one. You let me know. So yeah, Gargano winning the title there I think would be fun. Women's War Games match. Team Shotzi versus Team Candice. We've got Team Shotzi looks strong. Jesus Christ. It's Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai. They don't lose. Picking the women. Doesn't even matter who is on Team Candice. Who's on Team Candice again? Candice LeRae, Raquel, who I love Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai, Who the fuck else? Oh, and Toni Storm. You know, all great. I love Dakota. 1 year ago, she did the big heel turn and turned on Tegan Nox in one of the best NXT moments ever. It's such a shame that Tegan is injured. And again, she's injured, right? Didn't she tear her ACL back in like September? If she was healthy enough to do something physical, I would love to see Tegan run out here. I don't think they're going to do the holding pens. I've always bitched about the holding cages. But as we saw in NXT this week, they had the girls up on the platform. That might be what they do instead, because there might not be room on the stage to put those things there in the PC or at the Capitol Wrestling Center. If it's up to me, you just keep them on at ringside like the old days. But if you have to keep them in a holding pen anywhere, maybe doing the purchase. But if they did have the cages out there like all years, right when Dakota comes out, you could have Tegan come through the curtain and slam the fucking door on her leg and just go to town on her. But Tegan's injured. You can't do that because there's no program to follow. Tegan can't wrestle. But if she was healthy, that's what I would do for sure. But again, as strong as both teams are, I don't know how. Team Shotzi is way too strong. You got Ember, who I don't think needs to be losing any matches right now. You got your champion, who doesn't need to be losing either. Rhea Ripley, who doesn't need to be losing either. And Shotzi, who they're trying to build, and I think this match might be more of a showcase for her, the same way last year's was for Rhea Ripley. So it's Team Shotzi. They've been promoting her a lot. She was the host of Halloween Havoc. I can't really see anybody on this team taking any sort of loss to these ladies onto the heels on the other side. So I'm going Team Shotzi all the way on this one. Don't know who will submit or whatever, or get pinned, who knows, but Team Shotzi's got to survive there. After that is only the main event, what I'm assuming is going to be the main event. The Undisputed Era versus Pat's Pack in the War Games match. You got Kyle O'Reilly, you got Bobby Fish, you got Roddy Strong, and Adam Cole taking on Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch. When this match was announced, I remember as soon as it was announced, I didn't even think twice. I'm like, Undisputed Era is going to win 100%. They fucking own War Games, man. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, McAfee's been impressive. He's annoying, but he's impressive. And he put on that great performance against Adam Cole, one-on-one. Clean win for Adam Cole. Adam Cole put him down. I think, like I said on the last podcast, I think that you can do some really fun possibilities here if you want to do any sort of an Undisputed Era split. So basically, Undisputed Era, if they don't break up, are winning this match. But what I think is going to happen is somebody's turning, or something's like that's going to happen. Either one of them's going to turn, and I think the best bet for that might be Kyle O'Reilly based on his performance against Finn Balor a couple months back. But if it's not him, then maybe they all turn on Adam Cole or something, And, I would say that maybe Pat McAfee could be the new leader of Undisputed Era, but that wouldn't make sense. He's got his own little boys club there with his guys. But since I think Undisputed Era is clearly the stronger team here. I mean, Pete Dunne's ridiculous. I saw Pete Dunne work the War. I was at War Games 2018, and I think Pete Dunne was in that match. So was Ricochet and some other guys, and that was phenomenal. But in this one, I think Undisputed Era obviously would be the favorites here, but I think something's going to happen, and the heels are going to win. And potentially maybe a Kyle O'Reilly turns heel and becomes a contender. I would love to see that. But if they didn't do anything like that, and they kept the Undisputed Era intact, no complaints from Mr. Mike Work. That's fine. I love the Undisputed Era. But if you're ever going to do some sort of a split, this would probably be it, because you can do a split and also give the victory to the heels, and everything works out just Jim Dandy. So I think Pat's Pack is going to beat the Undisputed Era, and one of them's turning. That's just my prediction. So just to recap, Ciampa over Thatcher, Loomis over Grimes, Gargano to win back the North American title for the third time, Team Shotzi over Team Candice, and Pat's Pack over Undisputed Era. We'll see how I do this coming Sunday. So that's a wrap on everything I had planned here. Let me hang out here and answer some super chats, and then I'm bailing out since we got a pretty low audience in here tonight anyway. Who'd I leave off with? Spaz again. Oh, there you go. There's another one from Spaz. Thanks for all these super chats, Spaz. I might have more than one to answer from you. We'll go back to the $5 one here. I think the Bloodline need to take on Ellsworth, Gilbert, and Marco Stunt. Oh, man. That would be rough. Could you imagine Marco being thrown up into the 19th row of the Thunderdome? Yeah. That'd be an ugly match right there. Ugly match. Who's next? Aaron Scott. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the $5. Thank you for the compliment. And thanks for being here, man. Always Always awesome to hear stuff like that. Devlin Husband is back. What's going on, man? Happy Friday. Hey, Greg, didn't get to watch SmackDown and don't really care, but hope all is well with you, man. All is great here, or sort of great, in San Diego. And you didn't miss a ton on SmackDown. If you want to catch up with it, go on the YouTube and watch all the Roman Reigns shit. That was pretty good. Other than that, it was mostly skippable. Isaiah, where did I grow up? Grew up in Michigan and North Kakalaki, and now I live out here in San Diego. Another 5 from Spaz. One more plug before we call it a night. NXT review up now. War Games preview up now. Round 2 of the NXT Women's Division deep dive coming soon. Cheers. All right, man. Spaz, appreciate you being here again. Go shoot over to Spaz and give him a subscription. By the way, also smash this video with a like. I could definitely use the likes tonight. You know what I mean? And that should be it. Chelsea fan, I think we're all watching War Games this weekend. If you want to hear my review on AEW Winter is Coming from this past Wednesday, you can check that out now on the channel. It's available. We were up here, had a really fun review after that. The whole Kenny Omega stuff, the Impact tie in there, Sting returning. That was a big Dynamite, and one that I was really happy that I took off and did a stream for. And after that, I only caught like bits and pieces of NXT. I caught a couple of matches, caught the Pat Patterson stuff, and that was pretty much it. And kind of took the night off after that, and just got ready for the streams this weekend. So this is first of 3. You're going to get me 3 out of the next 4 nights in a row. Won't be up tomorrow, but I'll be up Sunday after the pay-per-view, and then on Monday after WWE Raw. And I think, too, I might at least one day this month maybe do a Raw reaction. Remember I used to do those back in the day? I haven't done them in forever. Maybe just for fun. You know, put me up here an extra hour or two and, you know, get some more engagement and everything. We used to have a phenomenal audience back in the day when I used to do that. So many people would tune in and watch, and that was fun. So maybe I'll bring one of those back just for fun. And also coming up soon, I've got right behind me my case of Stone Cold Broken Skull IPA has arrived. So I'm going to do a live stream in the next week or so, probably next week. I'll find a date down where I'm just going to sit up here and drink some of this IPA, and I'm going to open up a box of these WCW trading cards that I've had in my collection since like 1991. We're just going to open it up, drink beer, show you the cards on camera, talk, shoot shit, ask questions in the chat, things like that. Just a nice hangout. I think holiday videos might be fun. I always like to try to do extra stuff in December. I think that's a lot of fun for this time of year and what everybody's doing. And, you know, depending on where you live, Christmas is different this year. You know, pandemic has changed everything. A lot of people aren't going to be traveling the way they used to. Maybe more people are hanging out at home and doing less Christmas and holiday outings and more stuff in the home and stuff. So, you know, having more content would be helpful to a lot of you. Here in California, it does look inevitable that we're going to go on a 3-week stay-at-home order here. I think the Bay Area has already adhered to this, and it sounds like Southern California is coming. We're lumped in here in San Diego with Imperial Beach and LA, and apparently once the ICUs reach a certain capacity, it just triggers an automatic 3-week shutdown, and that seems to be inevitable. And we're expecting to have to do it here in the next couple of days, so I'm probably going to most likely have a whole lot of extra free time to get videos done and do some YouTube. And so you might see a lot of my bald ass in the month of December. But don't worry, I'm hanging in there. I'm doing fine. Even with the loss of income, we'll be just fine here. So we'll get through it. And this time, hopefully, it'll be a little more temporary and we can get back to normal and, you know, and vaccines. And 2021 will be the turnaround year. I still think we're a year away from life returning to normal, but I think next year is going to be big in terms of finally getting a handle on this thing. Because if it's not, I don't want to be a 70-year-old man still having to wear a fucking mask when I go to the grocery store. Know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I appreciate you hanging out this evening. Let me know all your thoughts, comments, and everything like that on SmackDown. And if you have any War Games predictions for me, hit me with those in the comments as well. Join me on Sunday immediately following NXT, and we'll be up here to talk about